Hey guys, welcome back to another video with Electrosoul. What's up, everybody? I don't know if it cut out the first thing I said, but I said, hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video with Electrosoul. If you're new to my channel, I'm a psychic medium, a spiritual life coach, and just a spiritual girl, putting everybody on alongside a whole lot of other things. But today in this video, guys, I'm going to be covering a topic that was requested to me recently. And this is something that I feel like applies in every single person's reality. I feel like maybe not every, no, actually literally every single person, because there's so many people who undergo, oh, love you too, Daniel, what's up? Hey. There's a lot of people that undergo feeling a lot of intrusive thoughts, or like just consistently having these thoughts that drive them crazy, especially, hey guys, when it comes down to manifesting what you want, because some of it feels very overwhelming, some of it can. I feel like when people are consciously learning how to go from 0 to 100 real quick in regards to maybe being in a place of complete limitation and then completely flipping the script, it can feel overwhelming for some people, where they just fear that they're not going to be able to get what they want, do what they want, have like all the stuff that they fear. It's consistent with it, because I just feel like it's almost like going cold turkey. Some people are literally completely rewiring every limiting belief that they had just like that overnight. And to some people, because of the fast motion of that, it can feel like it's a lot. And that's understandable, because I know that when I've had times in which I was working on my self-concept, I was working on the way that I felt about myself, my life, my reality, basically how fast I get everything that I want. There were times that I definitely felt like I not could spiral, but it felt like I could just kind of low-key spiral, I would say. Honestly, I feel like I could have just fed into things that I didn't want to feed into, and that's obviously not something that we want, because we know that we're a lot better than this, we're a lot stronger than this, and we definitely have a lot of energy to be able to get rid of that kind of thing. Right now, first, before I read the question, let me read the question to you guys that was requested to me. First, let me show you guys my makeup. So I got some blue today, I got a dot up there, I got 2 dots up there, I got, you could see the white or the sparkle under here, and then yeah, that's it. But okay, and then blue highlight. You can't really see it. All right, now that we got that, okay, so what this person said from Lovergirl2466, they said, sis, what can we do about intrusive thoughts, specifically OCD? And it's so funny because I actually saw something about OCD today. I don't feel like that was a coincidence. I don't want to say I've dealt with people, but like I know people who have OCD, and they've gotten to a point in which they've overcome it so well, because they have the power to actually, they have the power to conquer that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the power to conquer literally anything, even if it's like depression, anxiety, if you feel like you have like debilitating mental health problems that you think you can't get past. The best part is, if you let yourself get past it, you will naturally. You literally will. Okay. I've been through my fair share of a lot of things that I feel like would be concerning to the general public, right? But it's something that I didn't let take over my life, because I wanted to be happy. I wanted to manifest what I wanted, and I knew that I had the power to basically lock in on me getting what I want without so much fear involved in the background. Because oftentimes with these kinds of things, it's like with intrusive thoughts, you think that you are genuinely a victim to this stuff, right? And it's like, you can be one, you really can be, if you let yourself, but you also have the power to overcome that by choice. Like, you have to make a decision, and the decision always stems back to what it is that you want to and don't want to deal with within your reality. Like, do you want to be happy? Do you want what you want? Do you not? Genuinely, right? It's a lot of fear-based things that do play into that, like I was stating. A lot of it has to do with people feeling genuinely very uncomfortable with working through intrusive thoughts, because after some time, if you've ever had intrusive thoughts, and if it's ever persisted with you, you would feel like these intrusive thoughts are literally a part of your being. Like, you get to a point where you start to think that this is who you are. It's the way that you see life. You can't imagine it any differently, because it makes you feel very overwhelmed, and it makes you feel like it's taking up a big portion of your life, of your mind space, and everything else for that matter. When the truth is that it's only going that far if you literally let it. Okay. And although I've been a person myself where I've let these things take over so much, to the point where I was like, I just like genuinely let it take over for me. I remember that it took me, I don't want to say it took me a lot, because honestly, it's not that it takes you a lot. It's genuinely a choice that you make. Like I'm saying a lot of genuinelys, it's because it literally genuinely is, okay? It's a big choice that you make. And the whole thing about making these choices in favor of your mental health and in favor of your desires, where you're locking in, getting what you want, it's all happening for you. You have to persist in that mindset. And I think that's where it gets people, because some people do, people don't want to, they don't want to feel like their intrusive thoughts are making up their whole itty bitty aspect of their reality. But some people may unintentionally feel that way. And it can feel scary to your ego because you're so comfortable with the way that you've been feeling, maybe for a big part of your life, maybe for several years, maybe for just like ongoing, so much to the point that you don't even remember what it was like to not think that way. Okay. Now, I want y'all to remember that when you're overcoming things like OCD, depression, anxiety, intrusive thoughts that really do make you feel that overwhelmed within yourself, I want y'all to really, really, really get your big boy pants on, big girl pants on all the fucking way up. I want y'all to strap on. Okay, not strap on. I want y'all to strap that belt tight, and I want y'all to put them pants all the way up, and I want you guys to make a decision for yourself where you're telling yourself, for one, finally, you decided that you deserve so much better. You decided that you're done. You decided that you're not going to deal with this shit anymore. You're not going to go through the trials and tribulations of having yet another thought that weighs you down, because you can have thoughts. People have thoughts all the time. I've had thoughts even in recent times that are like bizarre, I guess you could say, right? But you don't feed into those thoughts. You don't sit there and you don't make them a part of your identity. You don't sit there and start to basically wrap the way that you act, the way that you think, the way that you are, all that stuff around the way that you thought regarding maybe whatever that intrusive thought was, whether it was something that was self-deprecating, something that made you feel very afraid in your reality, something that made you feel anxious, whatever it is. Even if you have had those thoughts and they come through sometimes, right? Your biggest job is literally to not just feed into it. I know it sounds like, okay, easier said than done. How do I do that? Right? I used to think the same thing, because I used to think, okay, like how the fuck am I supposed to just stay consistent in that? Like, how am I supposed to basically get rid of these thoughts that feel like they're consuming my whole reality? And I would only have those thoughts after such a long period of time where I was consistently feeding intrusive thoughts. So it got to a point where I was like, how am I supposed to like get out of this? Right? Because you're so used to it now. The biggest way that you get out of that is by remembering what it was like before, for you to basically not feed into that. Okay. Because like I said, I've had intrusive thoughts like my entire life. My entire life. I'm sure a lot of people do in general, but I've had like really crazy thoughts that I feel like people would probably think are crazy, right? Obviously. And the thing is that I've had those thoughts like throughout my entire life, but I've never, unless I was in certain states of mind where I was like like really depressed or like really upset about something or like really anxious or even afraid, like I was spiraling or whatever. The whole thing is that you have so much power in overcoming all of those things. You have to remember what it was like before, when you realized that power for yourself first and foremost. Like when you understood before that, yeah, it's just a thought, like whatever. And then it got to a point where you started to really feed into it. You have to basically put the brakes on that shit. And you need to be like, okay, wait a second. Like, why am I feeding into this stuff? Like, why am I letting this make me feel this way, taking so much control over me? You have to ask yourself these questions. You cannot give into it and say, it's uncontrollable, I have no control. It just is, it's happening, that's it. Can't do. No, like that's the biggest fucking no-no, because that's what I used to do. I used to think like, that's it. If I feel this way, I feel this way. I can't really do anything about it. Yes, you can. You can always do something about it. That's the best part, is like you have all the freedom in the world to make a difference in your reality. You have all the leverage in the world to put your foot down where you want to, and to stand up where you want to, and to understand that you don't have to like feel that way. You genuinely don't have to think thoughts like this, consistently speaking, that do not make your reality an even better place than it already is for a person like yourself. Okay? You have to really remember the amount of power that you have over yourself, over your life, and over the way that you do think in your reality. Because the more power that you allow yourself to obtain, consciously speaking, which we all do have a lot of power, don't let anyone make you think that you don't, because sometimes people, like I was stating, say it's uncontrollable, I can't help it, it is what it is. No, it's not fucking is what it is. Like, you have to make choices. You have to be able to stand up and to put an end to it. You have to literally do that, because if not, Are you trying to drive yourself crazy for the rest of eternity? Like, are you trying to let this be something that intentionally captures you because you're giving it that much power to capture you? You know what I'm saying? Like, even throughout the points that I've been where I was, like, depressed or anxious and stuff like that, I remember that it eventually got to a point where I was like, "Okay, you know, I have to be stronger than this because I deserve so much better than this shit, and even if it feels like I can't help but feel the way that I feel, feels uncontrollable, whatever, you know, like, that's obviously stuff that people do think about. They think that some of these things are completely uncontrollable. You have so much more control than you could ever imagine, and that's the best part, is that you have so much control than you could ever imagine. Like, you have the amount of power in your reality to basically make changes simply by assuming them, by speaking in favor of them, and just letting them happen for you. You have to speak on them. You have to literally embody that in some way, even if you don't fully believe in your freedom here. You don't believe that you're limitless, whatever. Like, okay, you may not believe that right now, but you know in your heart and in your soul that you definitely, certainly, definitely, definitely are, right? You need to tap more into that power because that power is what's going to set you free even more, is what's going to really help you see this world as a place of comfort as opposed to a place of hurt, a place that doesn't manifest what you want. No, everything manifests for you because that's how it's always been for you. But now that you consciously realize this, you have a lot of leverage to be able to put an end to the shit that you don't want anymore. You don't want these intrusive thoughts. Don't feed into them as intentionally as you freaking can. Even if you feel like there are times that you can't help it. You do feel this way. You can't do anything about it, whatever, right? Like, there's, again, these limiting beliefs, these factors that make you feel afraid. You have to be strong enough and wise. I feel more wise, like that word is coming in my head more than strong. I feel like they both are obviously very relevant, but being wise is what's going to give you the discernment to understand that there is no reason as to why you should let these things become a part of who you are. You know, like, observe, do not absorb. Do not absorb what you see, observe it. You feel the way that you feel. It feels strong. It feels very adamant. It feels like, okay, X, Y, and Z. I was telling myself, for example, today I was affirming in favor of me getting this SP, which I already have them, period, right? Like, you're telling yourself this stuff, but you're like, okay, I've been affirming that I have my SP, but for some reason I feel so anxious. Like, I feel like X, Y, and Z can happen. I'm not sure, right? And these intrusive thoughts start to really get you in a whirlwind. And it's not even just that, it's like beyond that. You start to maybe imagine the worst case scenario. Maybe you start to feel extremely self deprecating and you just put yourself all the way to the floor, mentally speaking, and you don't mean to, but it just happens, right? Listen, guys, that used to be me. Genuinely, it used to be me. I used to, like, assume the fucking worst when I was doing everything in my highest power to assume the best. And I'm not kidding. I'm saying it just like how it is. Like, I literally would do everything in my highest power to assume the best, the best, the best, the best, the best, the best, and I would be on a run. And then suddenly I would remember like I would remember like a limiting belief, right? A limiting belief, or I would have an intrusive thought that was like, it was like my ego was coming up with ways to genuinely put me down for real. And I would run with those things. I would literally run with them. I would completely believe it. I would feed into it and I'd just be like, well, I don't know now. You know what I mean? Like, I would almost take it low key as an excuse to not get what I want because me getting what I wanted did freak me out. It freaked me out to feel very confident. It freaked me out to feel like I could never think something so negative anymore. It freaks me out to always be so positive. I've always been very positive, but I've told y'all, like, when I was a teenager, when I was a kid, I was not very positive to myself, but I was positive to the world. So imagine putting all that love out into the world, but you're not giving yourself any of it. And now it's time for you to give yourself all of it. It just felt very overwhelming to me. And it felt like a lot. And it felt like a lot of pressure too, because at the same time, keep in mind, like, I was also like on YouTube, like I'm doing now, but years ago talking about the law of assumption. Imagine how much perfection I felt like I had to keep up for myself because I was just like, bro, I'm like helping people manifest what they want, but for myself, this feels even more complicated for me to hold it down. Like, it almost felt like, how the fuck can I really hold it down here if I'm over here shitting on myself sometimes, like feeling this way and battling through these things, you know, like really trying to get through all of these limiting beliefs that make me feel so shallow or so sad and so like I can't do this basically. And I just got to this point where I just said enough is enough and I have to be happy. Like, I literally have to be happy. I have to have more power than to assume that these intrusive thoughts are just what they are, and I'm going to deal with them forever, and I have to embody this too because it's there and maybe it's the truth and whatever. Like the overthinking aspect of it, it had to die out, because me sitting here and feeling so empty inside because of these things, it wasn't cutting it anymore. And that's really what it takes, guys. Like, you have to get fucking tired. Excuse me, I was going to say freaking tired, but no, effing tired. You have to get freaking exhausted of feeling the way that you feel. You have to get exhausted of feeding into, excuse me, into shit that does not make you happy and that really feels like it's limiting you to some extent out of your fear. You have to get so tired that you decide that it's over. Like, I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. I don't deserve this. I want to be happy. I can have an intrusive thought, but it's not going to dictate who I am. I'm not going to let it be the reason I stop getting what I want or whatever. Anything like that. Even if you have OCD, which I've never said this publicly before, but when I was a child, I was demonstrating enormous signs of having OCD. And it's definitely something that, like, I'm not trying to say it ran in my family, but like it low-key did, right? So I don't know if it's like genetics or whatever, but basically, yeah, like I had my siblings and we all were demonstrating very clear signs of having OCD, which, if y'all don't know, OCD is, it's an obsession compulsion disorder, excuse me. And it's not like the clean, y'all already know, I don't have to explain it, but I'm just gonna say real fast, y'all know, like the stereotype of like people who clean a lot or like are obsessed with that. That's like a very, I mean, sure, but like that's like, it's not because of the cleanliness, it's more of an obsession of order, of basically keeping it's like a mental block that makes you feel like you have to do certain things or else something really bad can happen, because you become so obsessed with the outcome of such irrational things, right? Like, for example, I remember when I was little, one of the things that I demonstrated was I remember I started, it was like so ridiculous, bro. Like, it's you see, it's like crazy because I could have literally full blown gotten into that if I let myself, but I chose not to. And I'm going to tell you guys, like, I chose not to because I said I didn't fucking want to, right? But when I was little, I remember I got like into this little obsession thing where it was like on my lotion, I had to keep, basically, it was like the way I would shut the cap, I would like twist it and I would have to like touch the top. That's what she said. touch an area of it a certain way. And if I didn't do that like 8 times or something, then what would happen? Like, who's gonna die? Something's gonna, shit like that. Like, things that are completely, it's just completely irrelevant. Like, it has no substantial value in this reality, has nothing to do with anything, but it's something that just manifests into your brain and you actually think that these things are true, and it makes you feel afraid because you think like it's true, right? And I had a lot of other stuff that would happen when I was a child, and I mean like under the age of 10, and I grew out of it because I didn't want to go down that path. I remember knowing that I didn't want to experience that because I remember the dread of how that felt, like to have like OCD. It was it was like over fucking whelming. It felt like things around you were in control of you and you weren't in control, and that you had to succumb to, you had to listen to what you saw, because if you didn't, it's like you're over. It's all over. Okay? And that's understandable in the way that it's like, it's, you know, you hear these things and you hear what people go through, and it's not that you have pity, of course, but you have a lot of sympathy. You have like a lot of sympathy and you understand. It's like, wow, that must be very tough. That must be very scary. It is, but it's something that you can get past if you let yourself, actually. Okay? So like I was stating, for myself, my siblings and I were on the way to that, genuinely. If we let ourselves, we could have very much just become full blown. And we stopped it by basically not feeding into it consciously. Okay? Like, literally, as simple as I'm stating it, that's what I did. I remember that there were times that I was starting to like, it was starting to increase. Okay? So I was starting to become more obsessed with other things around my house, in my life, beliefs that just didn't actually matter in my reality, that weren't realistic, right? I started to feed into these things. And then one day I realized that it was taking over my life because I was starting to feel a cloud. I was starting to feel like this limitation cloud. I don't like limitations. I've never fucked with them. I've always been very like radical in that sense because, I mean, for one thing, I am an Aquarius stellium, which y'all know, but Aquariuses are very free. I can't live in a cage, bro. Like, I can't do it. If when I was younger, I was like if I had some job that felt too limiting, I would quit. Like I just couldn't do that shit. And basically I started to feel like this huge cloud of like control, basically, like trying to tell me what I could or couldn't do and all this stuff. And I remember I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not doing this because this is devastating. It felt so, excuse me, it felt so heavy. It just felt like I couldn't let that be me. You know what I mean? So what did I do? I remember that when I started to get like very obsessive about stupid shit that I knew was very unhealthy, and I knew it too, by the way, because it was very conscious to me. I was like, okay, this definitely isn't normal. Like I was like, this isn't normal. I shouldn't feed into this, but I can't help it. But I could help it. That's the best part, is that you can help it. So what I said to myself was, I'm not going to become a victim to this shit. Like I'm not going to let this take over my life to the extent in which I'm full blown obsessed with these kinds of things, feeling this kind of way, letting these things take over, letting me just limit myself so much. I just put an end to it. That's it. I literally resisted. That's it. Honestly, you just resist it. And that's what I did. So anytime that I felt an urge to want to comply to some shit that I made up, literally, like my I guess my ego, I could say, that my ego was trying to make me do or whatever in order to survive or in order to whatever, I was just like, girl, don't do that. You'll be fine. I was just like, you're gonna be okay. Like nothing's gonna happen to you. For me, it was always like, God got you. Don't worry. Like you're gonna be fine. No one's gonna die. Nothing's gonna happen. Everything will be okay. Just understand that. Like know that for yourself. Okay. So as I began that, it actually helped a lot, obviously, because it completely ended it for me. I no longer felt the need to think of things like that. I no longer actually saw things like that in my reality that were making me feel that way anymore, because it was almost like in psychology, it's all, I forgot what it's called. I don't know if it's like a confirmation bias, but it was almost like, okay, now that I'm not doing this anymore, I'm no longer seeing it. So I no longer started seeing that. And then as the years go on by, like I told y'all, I had a lot of like ups and downs with mental health beliefs and things like that. It was not OCD based at this point, because there was no more obsession, compulsion, attempting to, what is it called? Like comply to an idea that I thought, but it started to become more depressing for me. You know what I mean? Like the limiting beliefs that I would have, they were very detrimental. They were very intrusive. I would literally come up with ways as to how things could get fucked up for me, things like that. And I got very tired of that. Like I was telling you, I got very tired of being so sad. I got very tired of just feeling like I didn't have power. And I realized I do have a lot of fucking power. I already knew that, but I feel like when I really tapped into myself and I let myself just be how I was, like I just let myself be free. I let myself be happier. I let myself do more of the things that I wanted to do. I basically fell back into myself, like I'm telling y'all. Okay. So during these times, I felt more that I had to listen to how people were doing things. In this case, I saw all the law of assumption people online, right? I saw all these people talking about the ways that they're manifesting, the successful ways, their routines, their methods, all the great ways that they were getting what they wanted. And because I was so absorbed by that, I literally started to obsess over it a lot, right? So I would think that everything I did was wrong. Everything I believed was wrong. If I wasn't doing it this way, it wasn't working. If I'm doing it this way and it's not working, what am I doing wrong? It became like such a huge obsession thing for me to try to make things so much better. It was like I was trying to fit in a place that I did not belong in, because I don't fit in by listening to the rules and methods and all this stuff that other people do. I thrive the most when I listen to myself. So upon me listening to myself the most, everything else, I naturally felt better. And because I naturally felt better in my life, where I was starting to do things, even more things that I wanted to do, my self-concept was raising a lot. I basically became like even more of a lone wolf. I've always been like that, but I remember at one point I was more mixed in with like law of assumption people, like people who make videos and stuff like that. I completely like I got all out of it. I left everything. I just went my own way. And it was because I knew that I was meant for something else that was going to help uplift me to the most of its ability. Like I knew that I was meant for something that was my own lane, that made me feel the most powerful and most confident, which you guys see, though. You guys see most powerful, most confident in my own lane. That's literally the conclusion of what it was for me to combat these intrusive thoughts. And it's what helped me combat them. And it's also what kept me from basically feeding back into that. So it helped me fight it off. And it also kept me from it helped on both ends. I'm not explaining it. basically it kept me from feeding into limiting beliefs, but it also did the opposite where it just helped me like in every fucking way. It helped me fight all those limiting beliefs. I no longer felt the need. That's what it was. I no longer felt the need to basically dive so deeply into such intrusive thoughts that I let be such a big part of who I was, because the whole thing is that these intrusive thoughts become so relevant when you don't know who you are, because that's how I felt. I didn't know who I was truly, you know, like I thought, again, everyone online was right. I'm not right. I don't know what I'm doing, but apparently everyone else does. And when you're in the law of assumption, this becomes your entire life. All right. It's not like a cult, obviously. And it's don't ever feed into that either, because I've heard things like that where it's like law of assumption is a cult. It's definitely not a cult. It's very free. Law of assumption is everything that you do in every single day life, no matter how you see it. But at the time, it was almost like I was putting myself into some sort of cult mentality, or it was like I have to like listen to instructions as it is, and you don't. Like you literally don't. And upon me setting myself free in that way, I felt a lot better naturally speaking. And because I felt better, I was able to fight off all those limiting beliefs, like I was telling you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like all those intrusive thoughts, they no longer became so intrusive because it's like they didn't have a place anymore. So you know, when you know that you're that bitch, if you have an intrusive thought that says you're not that bitch, you can never be that bitch, if you know you're that bitch, these intrusive thoughts don't actually skew you in any way. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to when you don't know yourself as much, you're trying to know that you're that bitch, but you just can't, quote unquote. You just can't. And then you have thoughts that are feeding that. You're not that bitch. You're not. And then you're like, oh my God, I guess I'm not. And then you just feed that. That's literally a factor of you not knowing yourself enough, and you also not believing that you can do this. You know what I mean? Like a lack of self-confidence. You need to build up on that self-confidence, because with more self-concept, you naturally become more in control of your reality in every single way, shape, and form. In every single way. When you have more confidence, you don't let things step all over you. It's like fighting off bullies, bro. You're not gonna let these bullies fuck with you, right? Okay, so then don't let these intrusive thoughts mess with you, because they don't have a place to if you don't let them. And on top of that, the better part about that is that an intrusive thought comes from internal. At least with a bully, that's external. You know, even then you could fight them off physically speaking. But with intrusive thoughts, it's something that you just whoosh away. Like that's it. Like nothing. And I mean, even then you whoosh away bullies, whatever. But you get my example. It's basically like a physicality thing, and also this being a mental thing. The mental thing basically showing you that because it is mental, you have a lot of power over it. And that's something that you guys really have to remember. You really have to remember that. You really, really have to remember that, because it's like sometimes you forget, especially when you have intrusive thoughts, you tend to unintentionally forget that it's a mental fucking thing. Like it's mental, bro. Like you have power over that. You know what I mean? Like you can stand up on top of that. You can make decisions a different way. You can do things how you want to, because it's just a thought that you have power over. Do not let these things have power over you because you're afraid, or because you're so used to it that you can't. That. Yes, you can. You always can. And that's what set me free, was just understanding that like I have power. I was like, hold on. Like the last time I finally battled all of these freaking intrusive thoughts once and for all, where they no longer became persistent. I remember I was like, bro, like you don't get to say, like, you don't get to say shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's basically how you talk to yourself. You're like, you don't get to say that. You don't get to tell me that. Like, you don't know. Okay. Period. You're tripping. I know what the tea is. I got the shit in the bag. I can definitely do this. Keep on believing in yourself. It's working. Okay. When those intrusive thoughts start hitting around the times that you're working on yourself for real, on your self-concept, when those intrusive thoughts seem like they're hitting harder, it's because you're literally filtering them out. Like we've stated within the law of assumption, you're getting rid of all the bullshit. You're completely removing it all for yourself in your highest favor. And it's only going to continue to improve from there, where you become even stronger minded than ever before, because you're consciously, consistently feeding a mindset that benefits you as opposed to hurts you. You have to choose what you feed into. You have to choose what you pay attention to. And if y'all know better, which I know that y'all do, I know that y'all know what the tea is, I know that y'all have that power within yourselves. You have to stand on business. And I mean this wholeheartedly, guys. I know I say it a lot and I mean it every single time, but intrusive thoughts, that's something that you really have to take power over, because they're not allowed to have power over you, and you cannot let them have power over you. I want you guys to remember that. I want you guys to remember that you have all the power and leverage in the world to get everything that you want, to do everything that you want to do, and to be everything that you want to be. There's nothing here that's ever going to actually hold you back or down. Do not give anything permission to do that, because you should not ever. Obviously, these things don't actually have power, and You're not going to give them power, of course. You're going to give yourself power because you're the most important thing, and you're the reason that you're the reason for the season, period. You get me? Like, you have to remember your place, and you have to remember that these intrusive thoughts can fuck off, and that's it. Guys, this is very serious. I understand every single thing that people go through regarding this because I've been here so many times before, but I just knew I couldn't anymore. And neither can y'all. Like, we can't do this. We deserve so much better. We have to give ourselves better. And if you don't know what to do, please start making yourself happier in your reality. Now you need to start improving your life quality. You need to start doing things that make you happy. You need to start dressing up the way that you want to. You need to start impulsively doing the things that make you the happiest. Always healthy things, but do things that make you happy. If you feel like tonight, I want to go to the beach, go ahead, go to the beach. Like, go to the beach and go have fun and go do what you want to do. Oh my God, I've always wanted to go to the beach at night. Go to the beach at night. Like, do whatever the fuck you want. Just be safe. That's it. But start doing what you want to do. And that's going to help improve your mental health so much more than anything else because you're taking care of yourself finally. And upon you helping your mental health, you're also going to naturally take action in your reality to do everything for you that makes you even better as a person, even more powerful, and even happier overall. Okay? So it's not just, oh yeah, what's it called? Oh yeah, I wish or I hope that I can be happier. I hope this, I hope that. Whatever, bro. Like, apply it. Go make yourself happier because what are you hoping so much for? Like, who's gonna make that happen for you? You have to be the person who gets it all done for you, period. Who gets it all done for you, period. Guys, these intrusive thoughts have nothing on you. Do not give them more power than they deserve at all, ever. Do not. You have the power. And you can definitely do it. Even with that, with OCD, don't claim it so much. Like, I know I know with this topic, it's a little bit more sensitive because it's almost like, oh, how can you tell me I shouldn't claim that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you, especially if you've been diagnosed, like, it's understandable. You know, you don't want to, it's almost like you feel like it's a part of your identity now and you don't want to skew away from that because it makes you feel uncomfortable. And then it'd be like, but what about, you know, how can I explain the way that I've been feeling then if I don't have OCD, right? That's understandable. But guys, if you want to be happier, it's time for you to stem away from those things. You know, like, I've had depression, I've had anxiety. I no longer say those things. I haven't said that in many years because I don't want that. Like, I don't want to have anxiety or depression. Like, I don't claim that. I want to be happy. You know what I'm saying? So I put that shit to the dead. Like, I was like, nah, it's over. I'm done with that. I'm done with that, bro. Even the OCD thing, people in my family were peeping like that. We were, like I was saying to y'all earlier, my sisters and I, we were demonstrating, well, my sister, it was one of my sisters and I, we were both demonstrating signs of having OCD. And my family was noticing because it was extremely evident. Like, we were behaving as though we literally had OCD because it was like our tendencies were growing. And instead of us sitting there and just it was like, instead of us labeling ourselves as someone who has OCD or even going in the direction of thinking like, yeah, it seems like we have OCD, like, we're gonna see about that. It's like something that you just know. You just say to yourself, okay, yeah, I peeped the tendencies, but I'm not gonna feed into that shit. Like, that's literally what I did. I was like, I'm not gonna let this take over my reality, and I'm not gonna let myself have this. Like, I'm not gonna let myself be in this place anymore because I don't deserve that. And it went away from me. Like, thankfully, it literally did. I don't know if that's like a thing. I know in the law of assumption it is. I don't know if it's a thing with people who, I'm very sure there's been people very sure who have like manifested OCD away and things like that. I mean, people manifested a lot of mental things away, but I haven't heard many stories. I've seen a lot of success stories online. I've never like physically heard stories in person, but I've seen them online a lot, sorry. And I just feel like upon us knowing that, yes, like, you can definitely do this with mental health things, you can assume in favor of your mental health. You can always change the script for yourself. You can literally do that. There's something else that I low key was like told that I had, but it's something I don't feed into. And because I don't feed into it, I never experience symptoms. And even then it's like, would you still say that you still have that though? I don't know. Like, I guess I would say I do, because there are times where it feels like it could like get riled up, because the whole thing with like mental health things is that I'm a psychologist, so I just want y'all to like also know that for yourselves. Like, when I'm talking about these things, is that when you have mental health issues, there's certain parts of your brain that are highlighted because certain parts of your brain are affected by such things, right? So if you have like schizophrenia, there's a part of your brain in which you could literally see, like, through a scan, you can literally see the areas that are affected. If you have like amnesia, things like that. But the whole thing is that even with that, the biggest thing I always advocate for is the fact that because you are a person, you're a human being, and you can manifest, you can definitely 110% manifest these things to health perfection. Okay. So never, ever, ever, ever let anyone tell you that because it seems like you have this, or like your brain is showing up this way, chemical imbalance, that you have to like associate yourself with that so deeply. What I personally have done for myself, and what I've learned to do too, is that if that were ever the case, right? Let's say that, oh yeah, like it seems like these scans are showing whatever, right? You have to immediately assume health over yourself, like the biggest, highest form of health for yourself, intrusively, for intrusive thoughts. I mean, for any kind of like depression, anxiety, anything else for that matter, mental health stuff, you will start assuming health. Health manifests for you. Your brain heals your body. Your brain is literally a healer. You guys have to take this very seriously because this is the biggest thing that's going to heal you as a person overall, no matter what it is that you're going through, what it is that you think that you have or have been told that you have. If you take control and you help your body by assuming in favor of your health, your body will drastically change. Your brain will heal because it is already healed. You should always assume health over it anyway. Never be open to a possibility of you could have this, or this could happen to you, or this, you know what I mean? Like for me, I would never say that I could like something could happen to me. You know what I mean? Like anything can happen. It can happen. You know how some people say things like that, like, oh, anything can happen. You never know. I know, bitch. Like I'm not claiming anything other than health perfection, period. You know? So it's the same thing for all of us. If we want health perfection, we have to assume in favor of that. And we deserve that, guys. We deserve to be happy. We deserve to have everything that we want. And we deserve to be the healthiest versions of ourselves that we can possibly be, just like I was saying, because that's what's going to make all the difference in the world. And that goes with everything else, the things that you think about, the intrusive thoughts that you have, any kind of anxiety, depression, negativity, whatever, like pessimism. You have power over that stuff. You always do. You always will. Guys, remember this, okay? I feel like this was a very deep talk for some reason, like spiritually speaking. I feel like this is probably just something that a lot of people needed to hear, or it may even spook some people out, stuff like that. Maybe even what I revealed about myself is a little shocking or surprising, but nothing is shocking about it because at the end of the day, I know that I was here to experience such crazy, wild, insane things for me to overcome them. Like I over fucking came all this shit, and I'm telling you about it because I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like take it from me, bruh. Take it from me. I've been through a lot of stuff, and I've seen a lot of things, and I've been told a lot of things. And the thing is that if you let them step all over you, it will. Like it literally will, but if you don't let it, it won't. If you let yourself have power over your reality, and if you let yourself not let shit just walk all over you, tell you how it is, you have all the power in the world then. You're 110% concluded the most successful person that you could possibly be for yourself because you've made that conclusion, period, as a whole. All right then, though, guys. This video was so much longer than I thought it'd be. I've been talking for like 38 minutes. That's insane. I feel like that's a new record. But thank you guys so much for listening. So much. Genuinely, thank you. I love you guys so much. I'm going through the comments now. But thank you guys. And I truly intend that you guys understood everything that I said. I feel like y'all definitely do. And I feel like y'all always will, honestly. I'm just happy to be here to help you guys. And if, of course, if y'all have any other questions, comments, or concerns for me, if y'all want to hear anything about like these kinds of topics or anything within the law of assumption, even if it's something that you think is a bit outlandish, like you think, oh, that's dark, or I shouldn't ask that, or what, if you feel like it's serious, like you feel like you want to know for real, you genuinely in your heart want to know, and you feel like it's something that has not been answered and you don't know like what the answer is, I would love to answer it for you because I love answering questions that are taboo. I love talking about things that are more like this, like I don't want to say darker, but it's just like things that people feel a bit uncomfortable to tap into. And I understand why they do. It's because it hurts their ego. Like it's scary to think about for some people, but for me, I just feel like these are all things that can't be overcome. So I'm more than open to talk about these things. Like I know that everything is able to be overcome. Like you can overcome anything, literally every and any freaking thing in this reality, guys. We have all the power in the world. All right. You have to remember that always. But okay, guys, let's read. Oh my gosh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much, Kandel Hira. That's so sweet. That's so sweet. Thank you. Hey, Tropic Sapphire, what's up? Yes, I'm back. I'm very happy to be back. Okay. I'll be back on Monday too. But anyway, okay, so someone said why I have intrusive thoughts, like literally how law is fake or it will take a lot of time or maybe everybody's lying. I'm seriously laughing on my own thoughts. Yeah, no, literally, like 110%. That's definitely exactly what it is. About having like intrusive thoughts. It's like thoughts that you can either feed into or not, because I've had thoughts like that too, but I chose not to feed into it. Like I had to be stronger, and it worked out for me because I chose strength. Like if I sat there and let myself feed into it, I could have spiraled for fucking day for years. Like I really could have. I really had the power to. But you see, like you give yourself so much power to spiral, give yourself so much power to not spiral. Like you can overcome that. You have the power to do it. You definitely do. But okay. Daniel Maroon said, your 2022 videos on the 3D is not real has changed my life. You have no idea. I'm so thankful for you. Knowing who I am helps me beat intrusive thoughts. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you so much for telling me that. And I'm so thankful that like those videos have helped you out so much, because yeah, like everything I said back then, I believe it even more now. Like I believe everything I said, but now it's like on crack, bruh. Okay. Like I believe it so much because I feel like, and I'm taking pictures of what you guys say because you guys are so sweet. But I believe it all so much because it's like I've been there myself. Like I know, bro, I know what it is, and we're here now because we were meant to be here. So I'm really happy that those videos helped you, and thank you so much for telling me that. I'll continue to talk about those things. Like we'll talk about it another time. If y'all want to talk about how the 3D isn't real or whatever, I'd be more than happy to talk about that again. I've talked about this before. I'm happy to talk. You see, like I always touch base again, and then there's more information added. So let's just keep on moving. If I start to manifest something, I say it is done, but I feel like I'm convincing my mind constantly, but my mind is stubborn. He keeps giving me logics. Yeah, you see, you can't let that in your way. You have to be stronger than that. You can't let your mind decide for you. Like you're saying, like he's strong, like almost like he's stronger than you, or he keeps giving me logics, like my mind is stubborn. Your mind isn't stubborn. Your mind easily conforms to what you want. That's how you have to treat it. You have to treat it like your mind works with you, not against you, because I don't claim that. I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, my brain is always working against me, or, you know, my body that, no, like it all works for ahead of you in your highest favor. You should never claim basically lack in this way, because you're not in lack. You're very powerful. You really are. Aw loves 21111 said, hi, love your videos. Thank you. That's so sweet. Can you please make a video / live talking about getting rid of a chaser mindset? Absolutely. Okay, let me take a picture of that. That's a really good topic to talk about, because I feel like that's something that definitely was also an issue for me in the past, but like we can definitely get that shit the fuck out the way. Thank you, boo, for the suggestion. Are you streaming or casting a spell? Because I came for the stream, but I think I'm just staying to see you smile. That's so sweet. Oh my god, you guys are so cute, bro. Like I just be talking like hella, I'd be talking hella much, and y'all be so sweet. Thank you so much. Like for real. I'm saying like while I'm talking, y'all are saying such cute things. It's so funny to me. Thank you. You are so pretty. You're so pretty, Kandelhira. Thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. For real. Thank you. I'm scared that someone has put a hex on me. Please help. Oh my gosh. No, don't worry. Don't worry about that. No one put a hex on you. You should never let anybody have that much power over you. Like never be afraid that anyone could ever do that to you. There was actually a time someone put like a black magic spell on me, and it was like a real ass fucking spell. The girl was, what was it? She was from Swedish. She was Swedish, sorry, Swedish. She was from Sweden. She was Swedish, and she was, oh my god, what was her race or her ethnicity? I think she was she Haitian? I think she was Haitian. But this girl did like this spell, right? Oh my god, it was like the worst thing. It was, I told you guys about it multiple times, and that was like the only time that I remember I gave her a lot of power because I was really afraid. After that, I learned my lesson so hard. It was like black magic. Like she literally did black magic. And after that, I learned my lesson. I was like, I'm never letting anyone ever have that much power ever again. And I never did. And like, I mean, I don't even believe that could affect me. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be very strong-minded, and you have to remember that like no one could fuck with you. Like you know what I'm saying? Like no one could ever put a spell on you, because no one has the power to do that. If you don't give permission, no one can do shit to you. I'm telling you, no one can do shit to you if you believe that you're protected. If you believe it, you are, and that's it. Have power, you can do it. But yeah, I got rid of the OCD. by basically not feeding into it. That's it. And I'm really happy. Yeah. Oh yeah, someone said no one can hex you. Trust that exactly. Um, oh my god. Okay, yeah, you're right. Got a weirdo in the chat. I see that. Oh my god. Hold on. I think we got some freaks in here. Let's see if I can block. Let's remove. Should I remove a report? Hide user on this channel? Okay, I hid them. Okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah, I got rid of it simply by just not feeding into it. That's it. I'm so happy I did that, but I knew I was going to because I remember I was like, I'm not dealing with this shit. So if you choose not to, you literally will already be moving in the direction of clarity, health, and happiness for yourself. Like you will already naturally be moving up in your highest favor and you will feel a lot better about yourself. And it would just make everything so much better for you. I promise you, like you can overcome anything that you want to. Even if you think, quote unquote, that you can't, you can, and you always will. Manifest Kendrick dropping a new album, please. LMFAO, that's really funny. Real shit though. Hello. Someone said, when you were trying to lose weight, didn't you get any negative or intrusive thoughts? How did you stay so strong? What was your mindset like? Didn't your past or future bother you? Like thinking, what if it won't happen? Okay, so when I was manifesting losing weight, I remember I did that very swiftly. When I was manifesting losing weight, I did it very swiftly because I was I was like set on it as fuck. Like that's the thing, is that with me, when I want something, I'm very set on it. That's like, I want y'all to remember that like when you're manifesting stuff, you have to be super stubborn about these things. When I was manifesting losing weight, I was like, I'm not playing games, I'm losing weight, and I did. And I would get like a little bit of intrusive thoughts, honestly. Like I would get like a little bit of like fear-based thoughts where I thought like, what if I don't? But I remember that I had felt so much like shit before that I didn't want to feel that way again. So I just didn't let myself feel that way again. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't let myself feed into it because I knew that if I did, it could like affect me. And I did not want that. I wanted what I wanted and I got it by staying persistent. So I basically got tired of having the bullshit. It's like you can either get tired of it or you could just choose it right now. But I would always just get tired of bullshit and then I would make a change. But that's the thing, is like you don't have to wait till that happens to you. You can definitely just make a change now and then persist in that way. But you should never assume that you can't do something when you know in your heart that it is definitely possible for you. Just don't overthink it so much. Don't hyperfixate on it so much, because if you hyperfixate on a lot of things like that, it's going to make you feel like almost like it's unattainable because you're obsessing so much over it, and you have the power to overcome it. You definitely do. Like you always can. Remember that, guys. You can manifest anything that you want, especially if it comes down to your physical appearance, anything in your reality. You can definitely manifest anything, but remember how much power you have over you. Like this is your life, your body, yourself. You can do it, period. Okay, someone said, I gotta hop off the live, but love you. Oh, thank you. I love you too, boo. And please pray for me if you would. I'm really going through a hard time health-wise and mentally. Thanks for always inspiring me to keep going. Of course, love. I'm manifesting. You're good. You're Gucci. Everything's going to be perfect for you. And I promise things are going to turn around so fast. I know that you're going to tell me about it. And I'm really excited. In Jesus' name, so it is. You already got it. Promise. But thank you for telling me that so that I can set that intention for you. Of course, always. Even though naturally I always am for everyone, I feel like if you tell me personally, I can like visualize it more for you. And that manifests very fast because, you know, I said so. You see, I have power in that. So it is. That's it. I want you to believe the same for yourself too. Hi, I was so excited for your live. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you. Can you speak about having a relationship with Jesus while still being into spirituality and manifesting? Yes, I can. I'll take a picture of that. I will make a video on this on a Spiritual Monday video. So please stay tuned and remember so that, well, actually, you'll probably just see a reminder. Usually I post on the community post on YouTube when the time that I will be going live the next day. So on Sunday or like a Sunday, I don't know if I will talk about this Monday. I probably will though, the Monday coming up. But if I do, I will let you guys know on Sunday. So, but yeah, I would love to. Thank you for asking me about that. Nah, girl, this was right in time since I've been battling depression for years and it's been getting bad. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the whole thing is like it gets bad until you don't let it anymore, right? It got really bad for me. Like, it got really, a lot of things got really bad for me. But it's, you see, it's like I let them get that bad for me, but I didn't want to anymore. I wanted better. I deserved better. I knew that. It got to a point where I was just like, I need fucking better, bro. Like, I can't live like this. And I chose not to anymore. I chose not to. You have to make these choices. I'm lifting up my blanket. You have to make these choices because you have the power to, and you can do it. You can freaking do anything that you want to do. And that freedom and knowing that, it's very liberating, because sometimes you hear that and you're like, that's not realistic. You can't do anything that you want. Yes, you can. Yeah, the fuck you can. And the people who say that you can are literally the ones who are limiting beliefs. Like, they have limiting beliefs that they're trying to put onto you because they believe that about themselves, and they don't want you to assume differently, because it's like it hurts their pride to think that they could be wrong, but they are wrong, and that's fine. It doesn't have to hurt your pride. Just overcome it. You can do it. You know, like, we all can. Okay. How to work on self-concept specifically for manifesting appearance changes. And of course, loves 2111. It's so sweet. Basically, how to work on self-concept specifically, or especially for manifesting appearance changes. The biggest thing that you could do for working on self-concept when it comes down to your physical appearance changes is basically assuming that you have a lot of power over your physicality. Like I was stating earlier, you have to remember your power in the sense that it's like, if I decide something for my body, if I decide something for my face, if I decide something for whatever, my mental health, whatever, anything in your reality, that because it's you, you are literally doing it. You have to remember that it's like it's your world. You have to remember that. You have to remember that you have a lot of power, leverage, you have all the control in the world to make what you want about yourself real. And if perhaps you had bad experiences where people made fun of you, maybe you got bullied, whatever, and you think like, what if they're right? What if what my mom said for so long is right? What if this, what if that? Don't give them that fucking power. They don't know more than you do. You guys all have to understand that the people who doubt you, or I'm not claiming that because no one doubts you, but let's say like if there's someone with a limiting belief that comes up to you and tries to implement something onto you that you know is not true, you have to remember that they are just a person who doesn't understand what you got going on, and that it's not your problem if they don't understand, because you know who you are enough to not let anyone or anything make any kind of decision for you. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have so much power in making these choices and decisions. Don't let anyone decide for you. You can do it. If you want to change your physicality, you can do it. You can do it. You can fucking do it. You see, I'm telling you, you have to remind yourself the same way I'm telling you, okay? I can't be the only person telling y'all that y'all can do it. You need to remind yourself in that way that you can do it, and persist in that favor always, because that's what's going to click it all for you, period. Okay, guys, very powerful. Remember that. Intrusive thoughts like it won't happen, it will take time is so annoying. Yeah, they are annoying, but you have the choice to let that not be true. Like, why does it have to take time? It doesn't have to take time if you don't want it to. It won't happen. Why would it not happen? If I'm saying that it is gonna happen, it has already happened. Why would I feed into a belief that tells me that it quote unquote won't happen when I know that it will, because it already is? You have to choose these things in favor of what you know you deserve. If you deserve better, you have to know that. You got to repeat that and implement that and stick to that, because that's what manifests the best always. If I'm trying to manifest a specific person who I know but haven't spoken to, do I still assume we are together? If that's what makes you feel the most comfortable personally. Like, if you feel like you saying that is what makes you feel like, yeah, we're together, it's good, it's Gucci, we're like manifested, it makes you feel powerful, yes. In other cases, for example, for myself, I feel like I'm not someone who's like, we're together, but I'm more of someone that's like, I like to assume in favor of growth. So I'm like, we're close, we're friends, we like each other, we're like, it's stepping up from here, right? But that's what makes me feel the most comfortable, and you can choose what makes you feel the most comfortable for you. But yes, that would work too if you let it. Like, if you want to persist in that way, it will work. Every time my mom is near me, I keep getting images of something happening to her. It's so annoying. I'm so scared that I'm going to get a phone call saying she died. Yeah, I used to literally be afraid of that same exact thing when I was a kid. I used to be afraid that I already said this like many times in the last few videos, but I feel like it's relevant because of what you're saying. I used to think that I was gonna get calls, or like call my mom, and she was gonna tell me that people in my family died, and that like people got in car accidents or some shit, and like whatever. And I realized that that was just never going to happen. Like, that's what made it stop for me because I couldn't keep living like that anymore. I was unhappy as fuck thinking like that. It was, like, very depressing, and I would get like, super anxious, thinking literally the worst, and then I got to a point where I also said, I was like, "Nothing's gonna happen to them because I don't want anything to happen to them." And you have to make that choice too because that's what I do in my everyday life. I think about that stuff like this all the time. Not so much of, like, with my family and stuff like that, but I care about the whole world. I really do. And I just always think, like, if I don't want this to happen, it won't happen. Like, don't be so afraid. Nothing is gonna happen. It's gonna be okay. And if you remind yourself in this way, it's gonna get easier for you to see it this way, and you're no longer going to assume such drastic things for yourself. Like, you don't deserve that. So don't let yourself feed into that if you don't want that. Okay? You have the power to stop that. You can do it. I promise. Um, Not wait, but the same for finances, question mark. Like, I'm done. I decided that I'm rich and that's it. I'm rich as fuck. Yeah, absolutely. You are completely right. You are literally right. Yes. That's exactly what you do. And that's what helps manifest so much more so much of everything that you want, especially when it comes down to finances, when it comes down to everything that you want. And in any way, shape, or form, if you just say it with confidence in yourself and you believe in yourself and you just keep going in that direction and you're not acting like, "Oh, I'm saying it's done, but it's not. Like, I don't feel like it is." Okay, then you will get what you want. If you're actually helping yourself, you will. If you're acting like what you're saying is such a bullshit joke, I mean, how do you expect to get what you want if you're literally shitting on yourself? You need to know what you deserve. But if you persist with it, yes, you will get it because you already do have it because now you're claiming it. Now it's done. In the 4D, it's literally all done for you. It's all done for you. What do you think about the void state? Because the way people gas it up seems cool. The void state to me is literally just everyday life. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all, the void state is just a mindset that you go to in which you assume that everything is already done. You persist in that, and then it is already done. I would say that the void state is kind of just like it's like a state of being. I know that people say like, "Oh, I went to this dark place and I figured it all out," basically, but that's literally you going into your own consciousness. The void state is your own consciousness manifesting the things that you've been saying that you do have, but now you like see it because it's like your mind's eye, you know, it's not your imagination, but it's literally your intuition showing you what it is that you've manifested. So the void state is definitely very cool. It's very real, but remember it's a part of your consciousness. It's not like a separate thing to you. So never assume that you can't have access to the void state or whatever. Like, yeah, you can because you are literally the void state. Exactly. All right. I'm going to read a few more. Let's see. So someone said, honestly, Electra, I'm extremely tired. I got so exhausted that I almost gave up on the law of assumption because my constant thoughts, like, it will take time. Maybe law is not for me. It drove me crazy. People on Tumblr are obsessed with the void concept. I also wasted 1 year because of it, but I couldn't enter the void. They explained it like they entered it and then woke up the next morning and then their whole life, their whole world changed, but nothing like that happened to me. It's probably because with those people, they had like a different kind of mindset about those kinds of things. But you see what I'm saying? Like, I've been stating this entire video and in basically every video that I make is that it probably just wasn't it for you. Like, for you to dive into that place or whatever, go into yourself, into visual, like, see it all as what you're saying that it is. It's probably not so visual for you like it is for the people on Tumblr who love the void state. In this case, for you, maybe you're more like me, where you work on your self-concept little by little and you get to a place of such high empowerment that it's like, yeah, I know that I got what I want. Like, you end up having so much confidence because you're working with yourself in an efficient way. So with the intrusive thoughts as well, if you combat this in a confident way that's better for you, step by step, little by little, whatever, it's going to make a huge difference in your reality, and you will actually feel very confident and comfortable because you are able. It's like, this is what helps you the most. This is the healthiest for your mindset. That is what matters the most. Okay. So don't try to, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't try to put in everything into your reality. Like, I see people online doing this, and if I'm not doing this, am I not going to get what I want? No, it's not like that. It's not a one size fits all in that case. Usually, like, it can be, but for some people, it just doesn't hit that way because everyone is fucking different. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I am. I'm very different. Like, I have to just do what I have to do, and I'm not going to do what everyone says just because they're doing it. Whatever. If it works, it works. But if it doesn't, if I don't feel comfortable, I'm not going to do it, period. So you have to think about it the same way for you, always. You have to put yourself first, like, genuinely. And then someone said, ooh, like in the show Steven's Universe, when the gems decide the physical body, they show up in like it's a reflection of their mental state. Yeah, exactly. That's a really good example. Thank you for saying that. Pretty much. Exactly. It's like mental state reflects as your physicality. And it really does, guys. If you feel your best, you will look your best. It's like vice. I'm telling you, if you look your best, you're also going to feel your best. But for me, it all starts up here. Okay. Because I don't feel like I would look my best if I didn't believe I looked my best. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't feel good about myself up here, I feel like I could still obviously look good. But it just hits very differently when you embody every part of yourself that makes you feel even more powerful than that up here, because it translates all down here too and everywhere else in your reality all around you. Electra, were you all day long in constant rampages out looking quietly, non-stop, or you said out loud? No, definitely not. I've definitely rampaged before, but I got tired of it pretty fast because it's not how I am. I'm not someone, I've never been like that. I've never been someone who's like, I have what I want, I have what I want, I have what I want, I have what I want. It works and people do it and it does work. I personally am not that kind of person. I just believe the things that I want to believe, and I know that if I'm saying that I do have these things, they're going to happen. And I believe that constantly correcting my mental diet is what helps me the most. Okay. So do what's best for you, especially when it comes down to rampaging and all that stuff. But I don't do it like that because I feel like it's not my character. Like I'm a lot more free than that, I feel. I'm not saying that people who do that are not free, but you know what I mean? It's just me. Like that's how I am. Everyone's different though, okay? Yeah, isn't void state just I am, like observing everything while detached from the body? Absolutely. Or I think void state is like SATs or astral projecting or something. It is. Thank you. Yes, you're correct. It's so funny because I feel like you're the only other person who's said that, because every person I see always talks about how the void state is like a separate thing. I've never really heard people confirm that, but I know it's true because I've seen it for myself. I know that the void state is just your consciousness and you're not actually going anywhere. You're just going within yourself. So you're just visiting you. Like you're making peace with you as you're manifesting what you want, and it's all working for you because it's you. Like you're connecting with you, and that's what matters the most. Okay. I think I'm gonna read like two more and then I'm gonna see you guys on Monday. Someone said, your live sessions are so helpful, especially people like me who are extremely doubtful. That's so sweet. I'm so happy to hear that. Genuinely, that's why I do this. I feel like this is like the most helpful way to do all this stuff, to talk to y'all one-on-one, because obviously I can actually touch base on the things that are concerning to y'all instead of either waiting to respond in the comments or maybe hopefully one day make a video on it. Like, no, let's talk about it. So thank you for saying that. And I'm really glad to hear that. Genuinely so much. Thank you. God bless you, Angel. I'm going to take a picture of that. Okay. And then the next question or next thing someone said is, I'm so scared because I've manifested some violent deaths within my family and I've almost gotten murdered on 2 separate occasions. How can I stop this from happening? I can't do this anymore. Well, why do you think it was you who did that? I want to know. So violent death and tragedy can be very possible for me because it has been. Don't let it be anymore. You don't have to let it be like that. You don't deserve that. Why do you think that? Like, did you like what happened? Even then though, like honestly, I wouldn't let myself feel that way. I genuinely, if I were you, I would not be like I manifest that. I would be like I maybe foresaw it. Like maybe I saw it intuitively speaking and then it occurred, but it doesn't have to happen to you. I don't want you to say that. I don't want you to claim that shit anymore. I want you to start saying to yourself that you're protected, because I want you to feel protected, because I don't feel like you want to feel protected enough yet, but you are now. Like you have to claim this stuff now. You need to claim that you're protected. You need to claim that everyone's going to be safe. You need to claim that this reality, this universe, God, all have your back. Like everything is working out for you and that you have no real reason to fear. And I want you to go distract yourself. I want you to go do things that occupy your mind in a healthy way, that do not let you sit back and focus on these violent deaths that you think that you're manifesting and almost being murdered. You don't deserve that. And I don't want you to live that way because it's not healthy. It's not good. And it's not even true for you. Okay. You don't deserve that. And you need to know that you deserve a lot better than that, period. All right. So please persist in assuming in favor of health, happiness, being protected heavily, because you deserve that. You don't deserve to suffer, because this is a conclusion of wanting to suffer. It's not intentional. It's not something that's like, oh, I want to suffer, but it's something that your mind is comfortable with, but no longer. You have to get uncomfortable with these ideas, and you need to get very, like you said, I'm so tired of it, or I can't do this anymore. Yeah, you can't, because you're not supposed to. if don't you think if this were meant for you, you'd feel very comfortable in it? You're not though. Like you're comfortable in an ego sense, but your soul is not happy with it. So let's make these differences and start claiming the happiness that you know that you can have and remain being like within your reality where you are always protected. You deserve that. I don't want to hear anything other than that. I mean, you can tell me more, but you know what I'm saying? Like for yourself, please feed that more than anything else. Always. You can definitely do it. I believe in you, my lovely. I really do. I really do. Please take it easy for yourself. What do you wait, someone said hi there. You're just magical. Much love from India. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. You're so magical. Thank you, Angel. It means a lot to me. Thank you. What do you think about manifesting through lucid dreaming? I think that manifesting through lucid dreaming is a great way to manifest. If you would love to lucid dream, go right ahead and do it. You could definitely manifest and see a lot of great things. I love lucid dreaming. I love astral projection. I love all that stuff. It's so fun. It's so great. I love dreaming in general. I definitely believe that you can do anything through anything. So if you want to lucid dream and manifest through it by basically visualizing or creating your reality while you're dreaming in this way, you can absolutely do it and you will see amazing things. So it's always great. You're the best. Thank you. You're the best user. Thank you. Cupcake for you. Thank you. Okay, guys. Okay. Now I'm officially almost done. 2 more questions. Oh my God. I keep saying that. Oh, this is it. This is the final cut point. Okay. Someone said, yeah, you have the power to protect your family and yourself. Thank you. It's possible to manifest it. Take my word for that. It does work. You have to trust yourself and demand it. No other option. Exactly. It's what you demand because that's how I live my life every single day. I pray for the whole world and I demand it. And I'm not trying to say nothing like that, but like I believe I'm that powerful, period. But ever since I started praying that this whole world has been protected, it's been revealed all this shit that's been happening. And it's like something that it's literally the Saturn effect. Saturnian, yeah, it's a Saturn effect. This whole world has been exploding in terms of revelations. Like we've been shown a lot of things that are very revealing that you would think no one would ever find out about, but no. When you have intentions to find out the best, not the best, well, the best in terms of finding out what the truth is, but when you have intentions to know the truth about everything and to get all your answers and to really see the world for what it is, when you really want to help it, you actually get it. And I genuinely believe every single day, I don't believe I'm just one person. What can I do? No, I believe that my intentions save the world. I believe that every single day of my life through the things that I say, the way that I pray, the way that I state my intentions, everything, I'm so adamant about it. I know that I'm making a huge difference and I know that you all are too. I want you guys to remember that for yourselves. Every single time you intend anything, don't ever say, I'm just one person. No, you are literally the ocean. Like, you're everything. You are a person. Like, you create so much in this reality. Take your power and run with it. Intend the best, intend exposure, intend that everything gets revealed in everyone's highest favor, and you will continue to shine and grow in that favor too. Okay, you're very powerful, guys. Extremely powerful. Never sleep on that. I know that y'all won't, though, because y'all know the best, period. I'm a 21-year-old Leo male who lost his 30K YouTube channel and got kicked out, and I've always wanted more for myself, and this experience has me leaving the hermit, and I'm just trying to become a man. Wow, that's really amazing. I'm honestly really proud of you. I'm sorry that that happened, but I do believe everything does happen for a reason that is very good for everyone. So I believe that if this happened, it definitely was to, for one, you YT, I'm just going to say YT, not YouTube, but YT can be very corrupt, especially lately with the AI features and shit. Yeah, it's been like very unfair for a lot of people who've been on this platform and stuff like that. But I want you to know that because that happened to you, you've been saved from a platform that was like almost like sabotaging, you know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. And then the second thing is that it's a really great thing that you're also becoming a man. You're not trying to, you are a man, and you're going to get better because you have intentions to become even better. And I'm really proud of you for knowing that. Okay. You're also a Leo, so you're meant to be a leader. And it's funny because I've been looking to this like Leos today. I've been seeing a lot of Leos, like literally specifically Leo sign people. So I feel like for you, you're definitely meant to be extremely strong and very powerful. And I want you to keep on doing that, like keep on moving in favor of that because you can do it. Like you're meant for a lot of stuff. And whenever you want to tell me about it, you can come back and let me know. But I would love to hear about your journey and about how far you go. But just know you're going very far because you intend that, and that's it. All right, last thing. Okay, I think I'm going to book a session with you so we can talk. Thank you. That's so sweet. Oh, thanks. I would love to talk to you, Natalie. I would love to help you with anything that you need. If you guys ever want to book a session with me in terms of like law of assumption one-on-one, mental health, whatever, bro. Like I do readings, I do all kinds of different stuff. I have everything in the description box below if y'all want to know anything. I promise you guys, I got you. But genuinely speaking, I love you guys so effing much. Someone said, will you make a video about astral projection, please? Yeah, I can make a video about that. Thank you for asking. I would love to, and I genuinely appreciate you guys more than anything. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for listening. I know that I said so many things today. I always do. I always say a lot of like information, but you guys are here for a reason. You guys are here because y'all are troopers. Y'all are like the strongest people that are meant for me. And I'm a very strong person. So I know that everyone who watches me, who's attracted to me, who's here consistently, who supports me, whatever, you guys are meant for like this. You guys are meant for greatness. And it's not even everyone's meant for greatness, but you guys recognize that. And that's the kind of people, those are the kinds of people I want to work with, are people who recognize that they deserve greatness. And because y'all see that in me and in yourselves, greatness is always manifesting. Like literally just because you're here, greatness is manifesting for you in your very, very highest favor. And that should make you very happy. You should be very happy to know that you're that liberated, you're that free, and you're that capable, because you really are. And nothing will ever change that, ever. Literally ever. Keep it strong though, okay? You got to flow and you got to keep on moving in that favor, because that's how you get better. All right? Just like I did, I made it through because I let myself. And if I did it, y'all can too. We always can. But okay, guys, I love you guys so freaking much. You always say something so on point. You're so sweet. Thank you so much, Idrani. I like your name. It's really cute. Idrani, yeah. Oh, Indrani, sorry. It's really cute. Thank you guys so much for everything. I love you guys so much. Thank you, Queen. And may God bless y'all always. I will speak to y'all on Monday for another Spiritual Monday video. I'm really excited. I'm very excited. I cannot wait. God bless you guys. Oh my God. You're so sweet, bro. Like, thank you so much, Silver Springs. Like, that's so sweet, bro. Like, you guys always say the sweetest things. I'm so thankful for all of y'all. I'm like emotional, but it's like in my heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm emotional in my heart. I feel like the tears, I used to cry a lot about this kinds of stuff, but now I just feel like I absorb it, and then you guys also feel it, and that's to and fro. I love you guys. God bless you. I will see you on Monday. Thank you guys for everything. I'm very excited. We'll speak very soon. God bless you guys. Love you. Love you. Thank you for the biggest blessing in the world, y'all being here. God bless. Bye, angels.